Welcome back. It's Monday. Wow.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday to you.
Happy Monday to you.
It is amazing.
It's always amazing.
Fayette County is the best place to be.
We're a happening place to be.
We are happening no matter where we go.
Exactly.
Where we go, we're happening.
Yes.
We're happening. Rick, good morning
Good
to
Monday
you.
morning.
Good Monday morning.
Good morning to you.
It's good to be here. It's good to be seen and heard.
It's good to be alive.
That's right. Preach it, brother.
But it's good. It's good to be alive. Goodness gracious.
I feel
so we're on. Let's talk about it with
Rick and Ash. Rick.
You don't.
Rick.
You don't.
Oh my God,
she don't know her
Terry.
name.
You're fired, Terry. Apparently,
she
fired.
doesn't know.
I was looking at Rick. He's in the corner.
He's
right. Eyesight.
And you. She didn't even remember her own name.
Bring
true.
it back. I've been stressed.
Rewind
Rewind it. We're here.
You're Ashley.
Let's talk about it with Terry and Ashley.
And Rick is in the house.
Also, Rick.
Rick is
here.
in the house.
Oh, my God.
Always here.
How are you today, Rick?
I'm doing good.
You're doing good. You feel good.
It's a good day. I feel
you
good.
look good.
Do I?
You always
Well,
look
I
good.
appreciate
Goodness
that.
gracious.
I appreciate that.
Very handsome man. Very
Likewise.
handsome.
Right back at you. Right back at you.
Goodness gracious. What are you thinking about today?
I'm slightly stressed the past 2 days.
What are you
Which
stressed
is
about?
Unlike me.
Why are you stressed?
Factors that I can't control.
That's everything.
I know.
That's the perception that we have that we think that we're in control at times.
Yes, we're never.
We are never in control of anything. Everything is evolving and moving, and we have the perception. We have the perception that we're in control, but you're never really in control. The only thing that you can control is your own emotion.
Is my reaction to that thing.
The reaction and to the thing that you believe that you're controlling anyway.
Yes.
But you're not controlling anything.
No. It's such a weird world.
So you're stressed.
I've been stressed. I'm feeling better. Sitting next to you, hearing it's Monday always makes me feel better.
Well, wow. So what is stress? Let's dive into that a little bit.
To me, that's what it is. It's the things that I didn't feel like I have such a complex right now. Like I can't control things.
So what's the definition?
But
it's a state of mental or emotional strain or tension resulting from adverse or very demanding circumstances.
You got it.
You didn't know impressive. I knew that, right?
So natural.
So what you have to understand is there's diverse circumstances that you've attached yourself to.
Yes.
And it's putting you on a emotional roller coaster.
Yes.
That you are going up and down, up and down.
And I only like water slides. I don't like roller coasters.
Well, stress isn't even... It's how do I deal with stress? I don't.
You're never stressed.
Well, because my center is God, and I understand and comprehend there's something greater than us.
Yes.
In this atmosphere. So if I was assigned to come here, then the assignment is already completed.
I like that.
So if I just align myself with God, then he's going to continue to lead me in the direction that I need to go concerning that which I'm concerned.
When I get overly stressed, I like to go into nature.
That's your outlet.
That's my outlet.
That's your outlet.
I like to ground in the ground.
Right.
If you don't know what grounding is.
Grounding, I know what grounding is.
There's some really...
Share, what is grounding? I mean, you could share.
Putting like your feet or some sort of, like your legs, something, skin on the ground. And there's studies about I'm going to ruin it. There's studies about the Earth's magnetism affecting your body in a positive way.
Well, we are energy. So when you go and you ground, you're actually releasing the things in which you're carrying.
And I live in the woods, so there's nothing around me but trees and a creepy pond, and I can just be at peace. There's no sounds but nature, animals. So
you just answered how to deal with stress.
That's how I deal with
my
stress.
No, this is a fact. So when you get stressed, you have to turn down the volume.
Yes.
On everything around you and get centered. And
it's different for different people. And that's
but it's still a centering.
Yes.
It's still you find that center focal point that is the true you. Yes. Not the character in which you've created. Because a lot of times, even when people get stressed and they get suicidal, and they want to transition and kill themselves, the thing that they don't want to be is that person, that character they created. Now, we've all been many people along this journey. I've been a basketball player. I've been a football player. I've been a track. And all these are characters.
Yes.
And when you get stressed, usually the character in which you're playing, it's time to let that person go.
Yes.
Because it's an illusion. It's not even really you. And a lot of time it's just time to evolve into the true you. That was good, Terry.
Oh, my God. I love thinking about
you see that, Rick?
Yes.
You see that? I talk to myself.
It's always good.
Terryism.
That's right.
Did you hear that beautiful voice
I
in the
did.
room?
I did.
Oh, I cannot.
Ask him tomorrow to say that, repeat that, to just float off his tongue so beautifully.
I'll say it and it'll be in a different way.
Yeah.
I know you will.
Yeah.
It'll be in a different way, but it will be said.
It will. It will. And so there's a fourth voice here. Maybe we should introduce
There
our
is a
guest.
fourth voice.
We have you guessed it.
We have a mover and a shaker in the house. Man.
Mr. Aaron Zolbrod. Welcome
Zolbrod! Man, this man right here.
You don't know.
He's a real mover and a
This
shaker.
man has really impacted my life.
Yes.
Probably known him about 4 years, but maybe a little longer. But we became family. I gotta say he's my brother. I mean, we become very close. But I don't want to steal all the thunder, Mr.
Right.
Aaron Zolbrod.
So, Aaron, tell us a little bit about you, just in general.
I moved to Fayette County about 17 years ago from Albuquerque, New Mexico, via Meadville, Pennsylvania. So
I thought he was Mexican.
Well, maybe I thought that's why you guys broke out the maracas,
See?
but whatever. But
Yeah.
first of all, thanks for having me. You guys are awesome. I mean, just to start the day off with such positivity, and for those of you who don't watch Terry's, daily devotionals, they're a great way to get your day started because
I appreciate that.
You get that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You
I
get that.
appreciate
You get
that.
the fun and the smiles. And we were just talking about Terry's never stressed, and I try to stress him out because we're partners, and I try to stress him out, and he's like, "No,
Doesn't work.
we're fine. Don't worry, we got this."
Everything's great. It's always good.
He's your center.
Yes. And, what you said about getting in nature, it is proven that you get out in the sun, like vitamin D, right? The healing sun,
Yep.
right? And ground yourself and touch the earth and get that sun. And
It's amazing.
It does work. I mean, it is proven. So let's expand on that. Now, I'll get back to me. So 17 years ago, I moved here from Albuquerque, New Mexico. I was raised in a very similar town to Uniontown in Connellsville, where I now live. Small rural town, under 10,000 people. And so I'm in my element here, and I moved here, and this is my adopted hometown, Fayette County.
Love to hear that. Love to hear that.
Fayette County is amazing, and
It's
we are
so
so grateful to have a
nice.
Mr. Aaron Zolbrod in
We were
the
just
county.
talking about that. Ashley and I were just talking about. We just met today, and we talked about it for 3 or 4 minutes. How awesome
yeah.
Fayette County is!
It really is.
All the stuff we have, and people underestimate us and don't do it.
Very progressive.
Yes.
To change. I mean, we're transitioning as pioneers in so many different ways in Fayette County.
But we're still holding on to those values and those roots, and I think that's what's
That's what
keeping
makes
us.
us.
Yes.
And that's what I love about Fayette County. I love that blue collar mentality, that blue collar work ethic. That to me, that's
got a lot of grit.
Yep. I want to be in a gritty. I love the grit. I love the grind. I love that people still wake up at 6 a.m. and go, do a hard day's work. And
You do hard work.
That's you.
yeah.
So
Well, I mean,
grit and the grind. Tell us a little bit about your grit and grind with the health store. How many years?
it actually be 16 years on April 1st with the health insurance store. We celebrate our 16th.
So
year
what is
anniversary.
that? If you would just give us, what is the...
So it's a place where you can go, and I got into this business 16 years ago because nobody was doing what I do now, and still nobody's really still doing it. Where when I got into this business, what we do is we help people enroll in all things health insurance. So if you're a self-employed plumber and you need to get your own insurance, or you retire early from your job and you need insurance, health insurance, or if you go on Medicare, or if you're a business owner and want to supply your people with health insurance, that's what we do. We match you up with the right, you tell us your needs and wants, and we come up with a solution.
And that's terrifying. Everything health insurance, because it's so tricky and specific.
Intimidating.
It's so intimidating.
And that's why we're busy. I tell people as soon as it gets easy to understand, I'm out of business.
Yes, so you're good for a while.
You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, so it's confusing, and that's what we do. We're brokers, so what that means is I'm not employed by an insurance company. So I'm not only representing, say, Allstate or State Farm, that we can do them all.
Understood.
So you come to us, and it's a one-stop shop. And when I got into this business, it wasn't done in brick-and-mortar locations. It was done out of trunks of cars.
That's wild.
So people would show up at your door with a briefcase or a box of brochures, and it was done at kitchen tables and dining room tables, and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I felt creepy.
Right.
Yeah.
It was creepy.
Yeah.
Like the guy that was selling the vacuum cleaners back in the day,
The
right?
Kirby. I tried that for 2 days.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
What a world that was.
Yeah. And so it didn't feel right to me. And I said, wait a minute. Why is there wasn't one single brick and mortar location to do this? But every corner there's an Allstate and there's an Erie.
Right.
And there's a State Farm. You drive, 4 blocks from here? There'll be 10 insurance agencies.
You're correct.
Brick and mortar. And nobody was doing the health and Medicare. And so I opened it up. People told me I was nuts. I didn't listen to them.
Good.
I hung my sign. 5 minutes after my phone number went up on that sign, the phone rang.
That's
That is
amazing.
a true story. The phone rang. I answered it. I hung up with that person, set an appointment. I said, this is going to work.
Good.
That is great.
And
And
here
it's
you are.
worked
Yep,
since?
and here I am. It's been successful upon my wildest dreams.
And
That's
this isn't
awesome.
the only thing you do.
What is wait?
Oh, I'm
What is
sorry.
the most gratifying thing in which you're doing concerning the health insurance
I've got
store?
13 people that work for me that make an outstanding living and support their families. That's the
amazing.
number one
That's awesome.
most important and awesome thing, is that to see, like, my top 3 employees, one came from McDonald's, one came from Speedy Meaties, was working at a convenience store. The other one came to me from Italian Oven.
Wow.
Love that.
They were clerks, McDonald's workers, all 3 of them, all females. 2 of them run my office. They run everything. If they ever left me at the same time,
You'd be in
it.
trouble.
done.
Close it up.
I don't even know how the back end of the business works anymore. These girls run the whole show. And then my number one agent, who is basically my assistant as well, fixes all my errors, and because I got a little bit of ADD, and
Right.
they no college education, just hardworking, that grit that we talked about.
Yep.
That they learned the business, and they're incredible. And those are 3 of, again, 13 people that make a above average living.
That's awesome.
I've watched them buy houses and homes, and
That is gratifying.
Passion
RVs.
over paperwork all day. You can have so many certificates and degrees. If you don't have the passion and the dedication,
right,
you're not getting it.
right.
So I interrupted you. You were
you
getting ready
did.
to say something. Do you remember what
Always
you were
trying
going?
to segue.
I know. I know.
That this isn't the only thing that you're doing with your life.
Nope.
You're not complacent. I love that you're just always thinking and churning, and not even thinking, you're manifesting, you're making it happen. So you helped found the building we're sitting in.
Yep.
One voice, one community.
Yep, I did.
And,
I'm very proud to say that. And Terry, Carrie and I call each other brothers and partners, and we truly
Been a
are.
beautiful
Yeah.
journey. So what is your, if we were to ask, what is your why? What makes Aaron click, and why, because even watching you over the years, you have done some remarkable things as a man that comes second nature to you. What is your why? What keeps you going?
I'm competitive.
You're competitive.
I'm so competitive that if I'm going to open up a health insurance store and we're going to sell health insurance and Medicare, nobody's going to sell more than me.
Understood.
Okay? That's just how I'm built. I can't help it.
There's a healthy competitiveness that I
There
think
is.
people think when they hear competitive, they're like, oh, he must be a jerk, or he's no. Competition can be healthy. It helps everybody grow.
I won't fail when I decide this is what we're going to do. I won't fail.
And
How
how did you get on the nonprofit journey, and what does that look like?
So, gosh, this was, I think, 8 years ago that I started coaching this basketball team in Connellsville. A girl I was dating at the time, her son, coached his team. He was in 5th grade, I believe. And it was just a little it was called CY or Connellsville Youth Basketball, or CYL, I think it was called, Connellsville Youth League, or CYBL, I forget. It's a long time ago. Started coaching this team, just a local fifth and, I think it was 2nd through 6th basketball league. When the league was winding down, we decided we were going to take a bunch of kids and we're going to start this little travel team. AAU's huge. And so we took a bunch of 5th and 6th graders and we formed this team. Well, we had first 10 kids. 6 of the first 10 kids had parents who were in prison.
Wow.
6 out of the 10. We had 2 kids that came from 2-parent household families and only one that had a healthy 2-parent household family. And at the time, I had already started a nonprofit, and the original mission was to help people who were underemployed or unemployed, help them kind of elevate themselves and help themselves and get them educated, just do what we could to. And we found that to be very difficult, because when you're meeting people in their late 20s and early 30s or older, they're programmed. It's hard to undo that programming. Yeah. So we ran into these kids that had this huge need, and we said, we're going to shift gears. We're going to focus on these kids from tough home situations. And they were all great kids, man. They were all great kids. I can tell you stories, and these kids.
You've impacted so many children.
And they're so resilient at that age. Like we had a kid, both his parents were in prison. He was living with his 19-year-old aunt. He's 12 at the time. She's 19. God bless her, trying to take care of him. And he ended up losing his dad to an overdose. His mom recommitted, after she got out, and the kid is doing great. I mean,
that's awesome.
He's still doing well. It was, and so that's how it started. And what happened was, it was just basically myself and one other person, Mary Beth Salatino, who's really instrumental in One Voice, One Community, although she's not serving, on our board or in a capacity, but it was just her and I. And basically we just raised these kids, and they kept kind of coming, they kept kind of coming. And we ended up with a core of like 12 kids that stuck around, and I coached them basketball. It's funny because they still call me coach. I'm still known as coach.
Right, of course.
To a lot of people, even though I don't coach basketball anymore, but they still
You're
call me.
You're a coach of life as well.
Well, but I was their basketball coach. We did it all year round. We practiced all year round except when they were in basketball season. But we came so close, and then it wasn't just
coach anymore.
No,
it wasn't coach.
They
were family.
Oh, they were family. We'd have tournaments. They'd all spend the night Friday and Saturday. I'd have 10 kids at the house. Luckily I'm blessed with a big house. I had a big basement. They'd all spend the night down there.
They had a ball with you.
Oh,
you had a ball with them.
I had a ball with. I missed those days of waking up and cooking them all breakfast, 4 dozen eggs, 4 pounds of bacon.
And you end up adopting one of the kids?
I did.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing, man.
I did. Another one from just a super tough situation. Had bounced around from cousin to cousin, and called me up one day and said, "Coach, can I come live with you?" Aww. And I said,
"See, he gonna make me cry right here."
He was a special kid. We all knew he was special. Right. A born leader, and we all knew it. And so, yeah, man, of course, Josh, come on.
That's beautiful.
And he came, and I followed these kids all the way through graduation. There's actually one of the only original kids left that's going to graduate this year. They all have graduated high school. We got one in college playing down at Bethany.
That's awesome.
We have one in the military. We have one who's a phlebotomist at UPMC.
It's amazing.
I told you he's a mover and a shaker.
I know he is.
Yeah, honestly, all of them have. We have one child. Well, he's a young man now that's struggling right now. You and I had discussed him last week, but it's like a 90% success. It's a 90% success rate. So, and that's when Terry and I, Terry was. That's what I love about Terry. He's open, right? Like he's open to listening, and so am I to what's working. And that's one thing about being successful is that you listen to everything that you take from people who are doing well. That's you correct. Learn from your mistakes, and you learn from people who did it the wrong way.
Correct.
And Terry listened and watched and knew, hey, this did work. On a small scale.
We took that business model of the coach as a surrogate parent, and it's part of our program. He's already been successful doing it, so why reinvent the wheel? As far as the business aspect, I've had some very lucrative businesses in my journey, and I wasn't disciplined enough I seen some red flags, and I didn't let the people go when I should have, because I never seen that much money going through my account. So when he was a big money earner in my window company, my home improvement company, and I seen some red flags. Sometimes I wasn't disciplined enough to just say you're fired, because we were family, and it imploded. So I take to heart this vision that we've partnered with the founding One Voice, One Community. I eat, sleep, drink this, and really am grateful that we became brothers. I mean, there's no One Voice, One Community without Aaron Zolbrod.
And it was a tragedy that brought Terry and I back together. Actually, that without that tragedy, I don't know that we're sitting here. I mean, honestly, I do believe God put Terry and I together as well. But so Terry and I met years ago. We were on the same wavelength. He was working on accomplishing pretty much the same thing I was.
He had Teach.
Yep.
I had 180 Degrees Empowerment Center.
And we had met, and for whatever reason, this was right before before COVID, and for whatever reason, we just didn't get...
It wasn't time.
It wasn't time. And so, Terry's doing his thing, I'm doing mine, and then COVID hit, and honestly, Teach, which became One Voice, One Community, almost fell apart because we were doing great things. We were starting to grow. We were starting to serve more kids. We were doing different things besides basketball, and then COVID hit. And we had this cooking program that was a huge success, that we had people on the waiting list, kids on the waiting list to join. We couldn't fit them all in, and then we couldn't meet anymore.
Right.
And I did not know that. I thought it was going to be over because of COVID, because we just couldn't meet with the kids anymore. And then one of the boys that I had coached, that had played in a basketball league that I had organized, was murdered.
Oh, my God.
And it was a summer. There was about a 6 month to a year period. There were shootings every week.
There was a lot of killings.
There were shootings.
And they were all kids.
And they were all connected to these two rival cliques. And they were kids we knew. Like the young man that was murdered was a good kid, man. Mm-hmm. And he was coachable, and he listened, and he was polite. He just fell into the wrong. He came from a terrible home life, dysfunctional, single parent, whose mom basically let him do this, was not reeling him in, and he was murdered. And there were so many shootings, and I reached out to Terry, and we hadn't really talked since we had met.
Been a couple
and I
of years.
said to Terry, this has got to end. We cannot continue to allow this to happen in Uniontown.
And you made real action from it.
We did.
We
met, and we agreed in that day, that lunch, it was lunch, I believe, or bread. We agreed we're going to do this. That we were going to do this, and we were not going to just talk about it, because that's what people do.
They talk about it.
Easy to go into I hate meetings where people talk.
They love to plan.
They plan, but they don't.
Meetings.
And then
they don't execute it.
And then we leave the meeting.
Nothing gets done
without having
a plan,
an agenda.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay, we're going to agree to talk about this at a later. All these great ideas we have. Terry and I agreed that this is what we needed to do, and we were going to do it, and we did it. And it took longer than we thought, but we literally started to plan from that day.
It was 2020.
Was it?
2021. Beginning of 2021, if I remember correctly.
And we executed it. And it took, the person that I am, I want results now.
Right.
Okay? I want them. Okay? I put the money. Now, where's the results? Why aren't we selling more policies? I did this, and, Terry has to slow me down. It's going to come. It's coming. But,
how many students are you affecting right now? Are you helping?
We have 26. We have 26 that are enrolled. We just had 4 more that just started.
Continuing the growth.
So I know after the summer program, we'll double. We'll be about 60. These kids are amazing. We are literally creating proof of concept, and it's working. The kids' grades are going up. Their interaction in the school, they're not getting in trouble.
You're becoming an evidence-based program.
100%, and it's surreal. It is surreal. It's an ecosystem that is alive, and it's so exciting to see something that you spoke about working in such a level of excellence. Like he said, he likes to be the best. So, he pulls my, he grabs my collar like I want to do it like, and it's a brotherhood because
Yes.
there's a passion.
Yes.
And there's something that was wanted to be seen that's never been done. And we're doing it.
You are.
We are doing it.
We
And
are
I'm not
doing
saying that boastfully.
No,
I'm
you
saying that
are.
in humility that it was serendipity that brought us together, and the level of the team, Brittany, Jamie, Demita, Aaron, myself, I couldn't have. That is that God factor, that we talked about. There's no way that I could have chosen a team, even both of you. It's been serendipity with us as well that it's the time to do this.
Yes.
Everything is aligned up that it's just time.
Yep.
And we're going to do it. I mean, I have a really lofty goal, and we'll get there. I want 1,000 kids to come through the program a year at some point.
We're
And
gonna
we're only
do
at
it.
we're only at 30,
We're going to do it.
but it will happen.
It will
and
happen.
It might take. I was hoping it would. I want it to be 6 months, but we know that. It could be 5-6 years before we get 1,000. And 30 doesn't
Say
sound.
two more. Because we're going to scale. We're going to have to get another location, and hopefully this will be our administration, because the goal is to have one in every county collectively. It's going to happen. I mean, Aaron laughed. I mean, because I still have my Nobel Peace
I was going
Prize.
to mention that we have 2 goals. His is going to win the Nobel Peace Prize, and he carries his
The replica.
replica coin. And I want 1,000 kids through the program every year, and it will get
It's
it done.
going to happen. We're going to go up on that stage and be like,
I told
We
you.
did it.
I
Right.
told you. Listen to episode whatever number this is.
exactly.
We said
It's
it.
going to happen.
Yes.
It's going to happen.
And we've got Terry, Demita, Jamie, Miss Brittany. I mean, they're incredible. I mean, they're here all the time. They're at meetings at night, off the clock.
Jamie's at a meeting now.
Jamie's at a meeting now. She's her wheels are always turning on how are we going to connect, or how are we going to bring in income and that sort of thing. And
The beautiful thing
it is that the chemistry we have, and each person serves this role. And Demita Jones, who doesn't get enough credit, and she's been doing this
26 years.
26 years. Okay, like she's
Boots on the ground in the community.
and that's one thing. Here's what I want to mention that Terry and I talked about, and so important to me, that we need to be at it at the street level. Okay, and then here's my problem, and
Say
Terry's
it.
so
Give
sick
it.
of hearing me.
No, it's real.
That makes me insane. We talk about stress, and here's some things that get me going, is that with nonprofits, it's trickled down. It's trickled down from the administrators, all the way down to it gets to, and maybe it gets to the street. Okay,
Most of the time it does.
we're doing it different. We're starting at the street. So we want the kids in the community, on the street. No, we don't want to, it's got to go through this layer and then this layer and this layer and this, 17 different layers to get to the
Correct.
kids on the street. We need it here. We want the kids here in the building, and it's going to go up from there. Like, we're going to start with the kids, and then we're going to get, our music director, like
That's
Kevin.
correct.
Then we're going to get an
Miss Mary
athletic.
Kay that's
Yeah. And then we're going to get an athletic person, and then we're going to do, acting or journalism or, and we're going to build it from there. Not
We've been building it from the ground floor.
not this layer of administration and it goes down in a
Everybody's happy
in a
at
down
top.
the funnel. No, we're going to start, here, and we want the money to be spent on the kids, and on
that
programming.
it changes their lives
Mm-hmm.
instead of changing the people who are the executors
Right.
and executives.
And that's one thing that, as long as I'm involved and putting some of my money in, and that's what has to happen. It's got to be, the kids have to be. The kids are the ones that should be getting the rewards, and too many nonprofits. It's not that way. And we had that expo here. We had all those members, and I'm not going to mention the nonprofit. And I was wandering the room and talking to people and seeing how they can work with us and how we can all work together.
Right.
And I went to this one that's been around forever, and I said, "What can you do for us?" And he's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Well, okay, I'm going to give you an example. got a lady who walks in the door with a child who says, my rent's past due. I'm struggling. My kids are struggling. I want some job training. Somebody comes in and wants to better themselves. I'm tired of, working a dead-end job, or I'm tired of working part-time jobs. And I said, how can you help them? And I said, we call you.
Right.
Because we need help. Mm-hmm. And you know what he told me? We'll refer you.
And that's
to somebody else. I'm like, wait a minute.
Point of contact.
You're a nonprofit gilding tens of millions of dollars, and you're actually not helping individuals who call you, and I don't get that. Yeah. And it drives me nuts that here we are, we're out. One of the reasons we only have 30 kids is we need
staffing.
We need staffing, which takes income, and so. That's the reason why we only have 30 kids. We would have more if we had more staffing, and we would have more. We'd go out and get a bigger facility, and so that's kind of the injustice I perceive. Now, Terry, he'll find a positive spin on it, of course, for me.
The thing that I understand and comprehend in that is that we don't know what we don't know.
Yes.
So we, visions of grandeur, I want 100 kids, but managerial aspect, we are an ecosystem that is growing into the comprehension of that.
You have to do your due diligence.
So as we become comprehensive of it, it's evolving. The money's coming. I mean, we have now, what is very different now is that there's organizations, there was 2 here yesterday that are seeking us out and looking to try to bless us with some monetary aspects of that. And we really appreciate Mr. Aaron Zolbrod for coming by.
Yes.
Speaking of kind, is this not a kind heart?
It is.
Is this not a kind-hearted man?
This is the kind of people we need.
This is the kind of people I'm connected to, Rick.
Yes.
That's right.
Honored to have you on.
I was honored to be here.
Thank you.
It means the world to me for you being here.
I wish we had more time. I could do this all day.
We know you could. We know you could, but we appreciate you. Fayette County appreciates you. Rick,
Yes.
Rick, you appreciate Mr.
100%, even more so today. Yes. So I had a level of appreciation, but it's through the roof now. So
we thank you.
Yes.
And I love you, Ashley.
I love you.
Rick,
Terry.
you know.
I know.
I love all you guys, man.
Love you, man.
I love you, Aaron. And we love Fayette County.
I love Fayette County, too.
I'm telling you. Be kind.
Be kind.